Welcome to episode 19 of Communication Error, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Ira Glass, and the man that is very confused by this bit, John Ebo.
What's up,
How
guys?
are you doing, Johnny?
What's up, cheese curds? GC64. No, that's not even close to how you usually sound. I had no idea what's happening. So
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of start it off new, kind of fresh. I feel like kind of in a silly mood.
So you had a name. Like, was that a different? Is that like somebody that exists?
Oh yeah, Ira Glass is like a for like NPR, like news.
I don't listen. No, I don't listen to NPR.
No, but like I don't know. Ira Glass is. If you've heard him speak, I bet you would know who it is.
Maybe
that probably wasn't even like a good impression. But anyway, welcome back to Communication Error. We missed you, and Johnny, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. It's a Labor Day weekend. It was a long weekend, and I tried not to work a lot today, which is Labor Day.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been working.
Yeah,
anyway.
I shouldn't have been. Yeah, because I signed on. I got on at like 10, and then I saw, like, you can see on Teams, like, everybody's status, and it was either away or offline. I'm like, why am I even here?
Like, were you told that you had to work on Labor Day, or that was like your own choice?
It's just like, so we're in a busy season right now, so you just have to get your work done, and it doesn't really matter when you work. You can work, you have to work during the normal work week, but you have to put as much time in as it takes to get the job done.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if anybody from my work is listening to this, but hopefully not. I'm going to try to make it my goal to not be as exploited as I am, because I give up like 4 to 6 months of my life every year, where I'm just working 50, 60 hours a week for 4 to 6 months. And I'm just like mentally drained, and it's just not healthy. It's not healthy.
Right. And
none of it matters.
Yeah. You have no time for video games.
Yeah.
Or like even just spending time with family. Like the most important thing. Put video games aside for a moment. Is just spending time with the people that you care and you love for. And they don't get to see you that often.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's my job is remote right now. But they're getting rid of it. I mean, you have to go in. We're gonna have to go in 3 days a week, starting in a couple weeks. And I remember before the pandemic, when we had to work in the office, like during busy season, I would go in. Or no, I would. Kelsey would be gone to work by the time I woke up, and then by the time I got home, she was already sleeping.
Oh,
so we didn't see each other like at all. Yeah.
Right.
So the pandemic actually kind of helped us in that way, where we got to see each other for, dinner and spend some time together at night. So yeah, it's I'm at my end.
Yeah. And now all your free time is just going to Starfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been playing it fairly often. Not a ton. I think I have like 7 hours into it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Which is more than a lot of games that I
was going to say, yeah.
More than I play a lot of games. So I am enjoying it. I do have my complaints about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because we have Jeff Troy Vania who's going to be on the show.
Yeah, so I'm giving Jeff a week to prepare to counter my points here.
He's got his notebook out right now. He's taking notes.
So Starfield is in early access, so it's not technically out yet, but I upgraded it to get early access, and I played it. I played it 7 hours, and the missions are fun. I've been enjoying the missions and the characters, but I'm so disappointed in the space travel because it's just fast traveling. There's no so. When you go into your ship and you take off from the planet into space, it's just a loading screen. It's not like you don't manually get to launch your ship from the planet to space. And then whenever you want to go somewhere, even if it's another planet, it's just a fast travel. It's a menu.
That's interesting. Yeah, like because I guess the impression that I got was, and the reason I thought it was going to be overwhelming is because you could fly to all of these different planets and discover them as you're like flying in space. You find a planet and then you get to like land on it and then explore that area. That's not how it is.
No, no. So have you played No Man's Sky?
I haven't, but I've seen clips of it, and I know that is actually something that you get to do in No Man's Sky.
you like fly
Yeah.
between planets, and you can land wherever on a planet.
Mm-hmm.
In Starfield, there are set points that you can land, and you don't manually land there. You have to go into the menu, click land, and then you just land there. So it's not. I don't know. I was hoping for something more like No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky is right there. Like you already have a space exploration game, and you just I don't know. It's
What was the Star Fox game that came out? Starlink?
Starlink, yeah.
Couldn't you fly to different planets in that one?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't play that one, so
I don't remember if you could fly. I mean, I think there were missions. It was like a mission type where you select a mission and then you go to that planet in the mission.
Yeah.
But I don't recall. There, it's good. It's a good game. Starfield's fun. I mean, if you have Game Pass, it's free, so why not play it? But if you like Bethesda games, if you like RPGs, you're gonna like it. But I don't think it is like this. Everybody was thinking it was going to be this generational defining game, and it's not. It's just.
I mean, I'm sure in some ways it is. Is it not?
I don't think there's. I can't think of new stuff that has introduced that I've never seen before.
Well, Jeff, that's what you get, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say. What?
I mean, I didn't take the 7-hour flight to Pluto.
Oh yeah, the Alana Pierce trip, as they're calling it.
Yeah,
you want to explain that?
Yeah, so Alana Pierce, who is I think she works for Sony Santa Monica now.
Yeah, she's a writer.
But she used to work for like IGN. She used to be a content creator and everything. So it's not like she's a Sony shill or anything.
No, but she was just having fun.
She took 7 hours because, like I said, most of the time you're fast traveling from planet to planet. But she's like, I wanted to try to fly to Pluto without fast traveling. So she did, and it took 7 hours, like actual hours, to fly from wherever she was at to Pluto. And when she got there, she flew right through it.
Yeah. That's kind of... I can imagine just all that time that was spent, and then you just fly right through it, and you go, well, guess that's it. Like,
yeah.
What do you... well, that's disappointing.
The biggest problem Starfield has is that No Man's Sky exists.
Okay.
Because if No Man's Sky didn't exist, you wouldn't know what you're missing.
Right.
But I mean, No Man's Sky has its issues. It doesn't have a great mission structure. There's not a lot of things to do like Starfield, but the space exploration could have been so much better, and it's just disappointing.
Well, we are not talking about Starfield tonight, but before we get into that, what we're actually talking about, let's do some server maintenance.
Yes, so server maintenance. Oh, we do have big news. Big news!
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah. We've been talking about it probably since episode 3 or 4, and we finally got there on episode 19. We have a Patreon. The Patreon is officially live. It has tiers. I think there's a $1 tier, a $3 tier, and a $10 tier. You can see what the different perks are, but we got it up. Feels good to have it actually live.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna give Johnny all the credit here. He definitely went and changed the Patreon and like added all the tiers. He added a banner to YouTube, and then you added a trailer for our YouTube account. And you sent me a message at like 3 a.m. You're like,
it was like
busy.
5 a.m. my time.
Oh yeah, it was 5 a.m. your time, 3 my time. And I was like, what are you doing? Go to sleep.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't. I mean, I was working like a dog. Not that I couldn't sleep on Friday night,
okay.
but I was working like a dog because Cheesy was making me work like a dog to try to get these Patreon tiers up and the YouTube channel updated. But no, I just couldn't sleep. So finally set up the Patreon.
So we have a Patreon now. We also have a place where you can add 5-star reviews. So if you like the show, maybe tell your friends, and then they can write a 5-star review for us, or, you know, leave a 5-star on Spotify. You can't write a review, but you can leave a 5-star. Or, you know, if you don't like the show, tell us, but in 5 stars.
Exactly. Yeah, on Apple, you could actually leave reviews. On Spotify, just give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
How fast can we get to 100 5-star reviews on Spotify? We're at 20 right now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's only been a few months. I feel pretty good.
And I think it might be kind of fun to mention too that we have passed the subscribers on Nintendo Powercast.
Wow, burn.
So Josh, if you're listening, or Crawler, if you're listening, you know, we've officially passed that Nintendo Powercast channel. So
yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're the goal for, I don't know. I think it's possible. We have 3 months. The goal for the year, 500 subscribers. So maybe we could get there's some monetization stuff at 500 subscribers.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I'm sure we'll have the watch hours with our shorts and our hour-long episodes, which people listen to, like, or they watch. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
but anyway,
last week episode was like an hour and 20 minutes, and it's one of our highest viewed on YouTube and listened to.
Yeah, that's probably the power of Josh. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah,
and us.
We burn him and then we celebrate him. Johnny, where can people find you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and the Nintendo Powercast. Which I did want to shout out Josh and Crawler. They went to Nintendo Live this past weekend at PAX West, and it looked like they had a great time. And I'm not jealous at all.
Yeah, not at all. That they got to play Mario Wonder and meet Peach, and, you know, be in an IGN video. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was working. I think they sent a message on Friday morning, and I took a picture of a spreadsheet.
Yeah, showing the excitement that you were having. No, it's very cool. We're happy for them. I am Cheesy C64 everywhere. CheeZyC 64 and Nintendo Powercast. I think that's it. Johnny, what are we talking about today?
Now that we are 13 minutes in, I don't know if we should
change. It's all good stuff.
We should figure this out, if we should try to get it going sooner, but whatever. We're talking about what makes a game worth full price.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of talk after the Mario Wonder Direct if it should be full priced. And, you know, we've talked about this before, especially with 2D games. It seems like people aren't thrilled at the idea of a 2D game being full priced, which is $60 to $70 nowadays. At least in the States. If you're in like Canada or overseas, it's like
Australia is like
90, right? Yeah. So much.
I do think it would have been worse if Wonder was $70.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
it's surprising though, because I guess like they made Tears of the Kingdom $70. So I guess I kind of assumed that after that we were going to see $70 priced games, and I'm glad that we haven't. But it's, I guess, just because that was Zelda and one of the biggest or anticipated sequels.
This is Mario though.
I know. And maybe that's a conversation in itself because I feel like, and this is a video I've been wanting to make, Mario has not had a great era on Switch.
They just haven't had. They just haven't had. Well, I don't know if that's true. They just haven't had many new games, right? Like Odyssey. Odyssey's a phenomenal game.
That's what I'm saying. Odyssey is like the best. It's a love letter to Mario, and then you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but like that's technically a Wii U game. You have Mario Bros. Deluxe, which is a Wii U game, and
3D World as well.
3D World Bowser's Fury is a
but that was like a what, a 3-4 hour experience maybe.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a huge. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and then you get like the new red Switch OLED that is supposed to be a Mario Switch, and that's what you came up with for your biggest mascot.
It's kind of nice though. It's kind of nice.
Of course, you're coming around. No,
it's clean. Like I kind of like just it being pure red. They have the little. Well, they have the little Mario on the back, and then they have the hidden coins. But it's just kind of sleek. I don't know. I just kind of like it. Like I have the white OLED, and that's nice, and that's just all white. Actually, I don't know. I don't think the back of the Switch was white. No, it's black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is all red.
The back of it, but like the front of it should be a little red too, like the same way that the Mario 35th. It's not. The Joy-Con are red, but that's the only thing you see on the front of it.
But the dock is red.
The dock is red, sure, but I'm talking about like the Switch itself. Like if you're holding it,
I thought the Switch was all red. Well, I mean the bezel they can't really change to be red.
I know, right? But the Mario 35 edition.
Hold on, I gotta look this up now.
Has like a red outline on the front.
Hold on.
But I think the way that we can kind of segue into our conversation, I think the Mario sports games should not have been full priced.
Oh, I 100% agree on that one. I think, well, I mean, we've talked about free to play games, and I think those should have been free to play live service games.
Mm-hmm.
Or, $40. I think $40 would have been a good price point for that.
Yeah. Do you see the Switch? Do you see what I'm saying, though?
Okay, the Joy-Con are... Oh, I thought the Switch... Wait, the Switch is red. I'm confused. I don't know. The front, all you can see is the bezel and the screen. But the back, it looks like the Switch is actually red.
Yeah, the whole thing is red, yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is nice. I think that's nice. I don't know. You can't really see... Oh, I guess you can't really... Well, the top is red, too. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to buy it to find out.
Yeah, sure. Scientific reasons.
But no, I agree that the Mario sports titles were a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that based on the content that they had, they were overpriced.
Yeah. And especially like when you think about what Camelot has done in the past, I don't know, few years with their sports games, it's not been great. So I guess I wish that we could have seen some improvement. And then Next Level, who's been doing some great work, and then they took on Strikers, and it's one of the biggest disappointments, I think, probably in the Switch era.
Yeah, and I think these games are being handcuffed or were being handcuffed by Nintendo. Because I thought, oh, maybe Camelot just decided to do it this way. And then Strikers came out, and it's like, oh, Nintendo told them, hey, hold content back.
Maybe. Yeah, but it's bad content. I mean, it's like characters that were already in the previous games, and then they're holding them back for like a special reveal, and it's like, no, it would have been cooler if it was like some character that hasn't been in a sports game before. But I feel like that's just been Nintendo's like DLC packages anyway. Like Animal Crossing, I can go on the hours for that. Yeah,
the free stuff is bad. Like the free DLC is bad.
Yeah, paid DLC has been really good. So,
Yeah.
in your mind, what counts as like a full price game? Because I mean, you're the numbers guy. You deal with numbers every day. So honestly, I don't know if I can say like what I think is a full price game because it's just based on the market, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it. I mean, value is always subjective, right?
Yeah.
The perceived value of something is different than the cost.
Hmm.
So, like, it's a Mario Wonder. I think it's worth $60, but if it
Hmm.
was $70, I would probably say it's worth $70, just because it's a Mario game.
Because it's Mario.
Yeah, but like, I've been playing a bunch of indie titles recently, and so Sea of Stars just came out.
Yeah.
It's a 30. I think it's $30. I don't know. Now,
Hmm.
I think that game's fantastic. It's worth the money. But like when I go onto an eShop, onto the eShop, like I did this for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is also a fantastic game. I see that it's a $40 indie game, and I'm like,
Oh, I thought it was
oh
20.
no, it's 40, and I'm
It's
like,
40.
oh,
Oh.
like that's a little steep for an indie game. But I mean it's just perceived like indie games are worth, you know, 20 $20 at most, I would say.
Yeah, and is that fair to say?
No,
Like
it's not. It's not.
yeah, because I mean they're indie devs that are trying to do their best at making a game, which is incredibly difficult. And then because they're an indie studio, their games get priced lower than AAA games, which I like in like saying it out loud. That makes sense, but at the same time, it's like devaluing these developers and saying that their work isn't as good as
Yeah.
it's hard to talk about because it's like I can't say that Celeste is like as good as like God of War, right? Like the way it looks, but
But they're just
the
they're so
story and the
different though.
gameplay and
Yeah.
oh, I know, but like, what's
Well,
how do you price them?
it's weird to me because I played Sea of Stars this weekend and I played
Yeah,
Starfield.
yeah.
And they're
They
completely
both have
different.
stars
They
in the
both have stars
title,
in the title, yeah.
so they should be priced
And
the
I
same. Is that what you're
and
saying?
I watched some Star Wars over the
Uh huh.
weekend. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stars.
yeah.
But no, like if you look at Sea of Stars, it's a 16-bit. It looks like an SNES game.
Uh huh.
It's essentially they're both RPGs, but Sea of Stars is 16-bit and Starfield is, I don't even know what the 4K 30 FPS. I don't even know what the stats are, but if you put them side by side, you'd be like, okay, that one's worth Sea of Stars is worth less than Starfield. If you know nothing about it, either of them.
Right, right. Because I mean, I think that we've gotten into kind of the cinematics of gaming that show, that this looks like real life versus it being a video game. And maybe that is what, if it looks more realistic, that is what costs more, which is kind of weird to say because then you have something like Mario, who's just a big IP. And I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but like Mario looks nothing realistic, and that's a full price game.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I know they're two huge known IPs, but when Mario Wonder comes out, it's releasing the same day as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And even, looking at Spider-Man, it's an open world, hyper realistic RPG. I don't know if it's considered RPG, action, whatever. You're getting
Yeah.
30, 40 hours out of it, probably. So
Yeah.
for Mario Bros. Wonder, you're going to get 5 to 10 hours out of the main story, and then maybe another 5 out of the extra stuff.
Completion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're paying the same price because I'm pretty sure they're both $60. I don't know about
Spider-Man-
Spider-Man. It might be 70. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
not sure either. Excuse me.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say like, hey, that's Mario is worth the same as a Spider-Man game.
Well, yeah. So I mean, do you think that we've gone like Mario shouldn't be worth as much as it is today because of how games have developed, or is it like comparing apples to oranges that it's?
Yeah, I think it's comparing apples to oranges, but I'm gonna be devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder should be $40.
What? Wait, you just said that it should be 60. What are you?
Well, no,
what are you
I'm
talking
saying
about?
I'm playing devil's advocate from an outsider, non-Nintendo fanboy. Super Mario Bros. Wonder should be $40.
And why, from that standpoint, do you think that?
Because it's just a 2D platformer. It's not really adding anything new.
Oh, I don't know about that. Because I was going to argue.
It's not adding anything new. It's a 2D platformer. You're doing the same thing. You're going from the left to the right.
Yeah, but it's adding new abilities, new power-ups.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's adding anything new to the genre.
But it's adding something new to the series. Shouldn't that count?
I think it's just, I don't know. They don't look like they should be worth $60.
Is that because when Mario Run came out, that was that $10?
It was $10, yeah. But that was a mobile game.
It was a mobile game, but it's a 2D mobile game, like you're saying.
Yeah, but even if you take a different Nintendo IP, like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, it was $50 on the Wii U.
Right.
They did up it on the Switch.
That's for funky mode. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
No, it's not worth. Funky is not worth $10. It's not worth $10.
Yeah.
But I think Yoshi's Woolly World was the same thing. I think it was $50. I don't think it was
Woolly
60.
World is not on the Switch.
It was on the Wii U.
Oh, it was $50.
I think.
Yeah,
so.
but wasn't that the full price at the time for Wii U?
No, it was $60. It was $60, and those were.
I don't think we got to 60 until Switch.
No, we got to 60. New Super Mario Bros. U was 60.
Oh, okay.
But I know from Wii U to Switch, they made Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze 60.
Right.
Because that was a big deal. Like, everybody was like, why am I paying $10 extra? Which I don't blame them.
And then they took it off the eShop on the Wii U eShop.
Oh, Pikmin 3 was also $50.
Yep.
So they even think some of their IP are not worth $50 or $60. Like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, 2D platformer. Yoshi's Woolly World, 2D platformer.
I think we'll have to double check that. I think that the Wii U was $50. And then Breath of the Wild was the first $60 game. I don't know if you are. I think you're wrong on this one.
No, I'm correct. I know everything.
John
about
Evo's going to be
numbers.
wrong for the first time ever.
Ever. All right, hold on. I don't even know how you would check this.
I mean, I just look at. Well, I don't know. Breath of the Wild probably was the first $60 Wii U game. That's my guess.
How much did the Wii U cost at launch? Okay, that's $2.99.
Oh, okay.
Or there was $2.99 and $3.49. There's two different sets. Wii U games will cost $59.99. On September 13th, 2012, it said Wii U titles will most commonly have a suggested retail value of $59.99.
Dang.
Yeah. That price increase will be a $10 increase of Wii titles. Yeah, so New Super Mario Bros. U and Zombie U were $60.
Fine. You were right.
Oh, what'd you say? I'm always right.
Yeah, okay, so going back to your argument now, yeah, they were pricing them $10 less than
But
what
why?
they thought they should be.
But why do it to certain ones and not all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they've even done it on the Switch. Aren't there some Switch games that were 50?
Yeah, like I think WarioWare, Get It Together was 50. Or maybe it was less than that. I don't remember.
Was the Kirby port 60?
I think it was 60. Gosh, I don't know. It's weird now when you think about how much you spend on games and you're like, I bought it, but I don't remember how much it was. Maybe that's a little concerning.
So Detective Pikachu Returns is 50.
60?
It's 50.
Oh, 50?
Because they know that game looks like trash. So Kirby's Return to Dreamland was $59.99.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a Kirby game.
Dream Buffet was $15.
Right. Which, I mean, that was here for a day, maybe.
Oh, Switch Sports was 40.
Oh, okay. And that was disappointing. So, like, I guess
I just think based on that, based on those some that they have reduced the price, that Super Mario Bros. Wonder should be $50 instead of 60. Just based on the amount of content, the type of game, like it shouldn't be the same price as Odyssey. Or, well, now Tears of the Kingdom is 70, which that's a whole other argument because the $70 price point was more for next generation games. For like Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. And then Nintendo's just like, screw it, we can do whatever we want. People are going to buy it anyway. That's the only reason they did it, not this BS where they're like, oh, we think it's the amount of content included and the amount of work that went into it makes it worth 70. That's BS. They knew people were going to buy it, so they did it.
Well, since you're looking up stuff anyway, Spider-Man, is that at 60 or 70?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. Well, let's see.
Because, like, let's take Ratchet and Clank Insomniac Games. That is more cartoony than, Spider-Man and looks and kind of plays like Mario, I guess. Just the adventure 3D platforming genre. That was full price. But you think that's because
70.
that's Ratchet and Clank was 70?
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank was 70. Because it was a PS5 exclusive. And I think the next generation costs, like the ones that are PS5 only, are going to be 70. Like Spider-Man is 70.
That's interesting.
But I wonder, I mean, there's not many 2D platformers. Like, I'm trying to think of a game that's coming to PS5 or Xbox Series X that you would be like, maybe that's not worth $70.
Well, I mean, so we've brought up Prince of Persia in the past. Yeah. Is that Switch exclusive? Or is that coming to...
That's coming to everything, I think.
But I don't know if that... I think it is going to be full price, right? And that's what people were having issues with?
Well, I think it's going to be 60 across the board. So it won't have that... Actually, it's 50. Hold on.
So...
Oh, wait. No,
I don't know.
Hold on. Yeah, I think it's 50.
Huh. So we're just two guys that have a podcast talking into microphones and aren't in charge of pricing. But like, Do you have any idea of how they make those decisions, or they just say this is a full price game and there's no like uh, qualifications?
Well, I'm assuming it has to do with development costs
Uh-huh.
and what return on what return on they want to get.
Yeah.
Right. So if they think they could sell, I don't know, 1 million copies at the $60 price point, but 2 million copies at the $50 price point, they might choose to do $50. But it's hard. Why is it so hard to find these things? I think it's 50 for Prince of Persia, and that's going to be on, I think all the platforms.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
Prince of Persia, Metroid Dread, do you think those are $60 games?
well, based on, I mean, Metroid Dread was 8 hours.
Wait. Hold on. You were gonna say based on sales.
Well, based on no, I wasn't gonna say based on sales. I was gonna say based on like the other similar games.
Uh-huh.
Like if Prince of Persia is $50, and yeah, I think Metroid should have been $50. Plus, Metroid Dread was an 8-hour game, and there wasn't much you could do outside of the main story. Like you could beat the story. You could do 100%. But I think the most you're getting out of a run is 15 hours. And
yeah, that's probably fair to say.
It's hard to put up a game like that, a 15-hour experience, next to, I don't know, Starfield. That's going to be like hundreds of hours.
But again, that is subjective when it comes to the value that you get out of it. So maybe you aren't putting in that much time into the game, and I don't know, like anybody is different. So not everyone is going to play the same amount of the game as like you are, but does that justify the price?
I mean, I think the reason why Metroid Dread was 60 is because it's a Nintendo game.
Right. So then it's just anything that Nintendo puts out is probably going to be full price, except for like I guess games like Wario and Switch Sports,
like party game, yeah, like they're party games. Like everybody 1-2 Switch, 1-2 Switch. You know, these complete bangers that are worth at least $100 each.
It is kind of surprising that they didn't full price Switch Sports, because that means like they didn't have the confidence for it, and they didn't think that it was going to do as well as like what Wii Sports was.
Yeah, I think it's still sold like 10 million copies,
which is crazy because like the 5 original sports that were in Wii Sports are not in Switch Sports still.
Yeah, I would say that game's not even worth the $40. I understand. I don't know. I think Nintendo, they have brand power right now.
Yeah, for sure.
If they were to lose that, you would probably see different pricing structures. Like they priced Metroid Prime at $40. The remastered, which is a phenomenal game, but it is a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. Okay, so going into that, let's talk about Super Mario RPG.
Oh, that is a $60 game.
Yeah.
And
that is from the SNES era.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't be.
Even though they've updated the look, does that not mean anything?
I mean, it's just they just put it in 3D.
It's 3D, but it's also a game that is incredibly hard to get behind licensing, and now it's out again. Like,
yeah, but does that mean it's worth $60? We have access to that game, like, in so many ways.
Yeah, because what was the last one? The SNES Classic. It's on there, right?
Super NES Classic. I think it was probably on the Virtual Console at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just because I don't think that makes it worth $60. But yeah, that one is kind of odd because that's just a remake. A lot of these remakes or remasters, they're charging. Like Last of Us Part 1 was $70.
Mm-hmm.
And they re-released that game like 6 times. Is it worth $70?
I hate being the type of person that is like, I don't know, but if they price it at that, like that's what it is, I guess, and I'm gonna have to pay for it. Because then you look at games, and we bring this one up constantly, but it's one to be poked at. I think is Pokemon. That was a full price game, and it's because people keep buying it at full price, and people can say, well, vote with your wallet. And I just don't know if that's going to do anything. Let's say in a world where people were like, no, I'm not buying any more Pokemon games until they fix it. Would they actually change the price? Or because it's Pokemon, it would just stay the same?
I mean, if it would stop selling as much. But yeah, I mean, there has been no reason for them to either charge less or improve it. These people buy it no matter what.
Right. And like just put time into it. More
I don't
effort.
think I just don't think more effort is going to sell it more. Like I know you said this last time, but I just don't think that's
It's just crazy to me. Why not?
There's an audience. There's a, I think there's a limit, right? I don't think you're going higher. They're JRPGs, which is a niche. It's a very niche genre. And you're already hitting 20 plus million copies. Like, what other JRPG hits 20 million copies? There are none.
Well, okay, that's fair. I was going to say, I don't know how niche it is when Switch is basically a JRPG machine.
Yeah, but it's still not like you're not selling 10, 15 million copies per game. You're selling 1, 2, maybe.
Probably, Final Fantasy, Persona.
Yeah, Octopath. Like, that's still phenomenal to sell that much for a JRPG, but it's not, it's not reaching levels of a Mario game or like I think Mario RPG is going to sell maybe 2-3 million copies, maybe 5, but you're not getting higher than that, and I think the price is going to scare people off because it's a 20-year-old, 20-plus-year-old RPG.
So, are we saying that a full price game is if it's a fully 3D cinematic adventure? Is that what a full price game is, or what makes it full price?
I don't think there's an actual answer. Like,
they just throw a dart at a board and see where it lands.
Well, things are worth what people are willing to pay for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Super Mario Bros. Wonder sells only 1 million copies, which is not, maybe they will change the price or put it on sale or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really up to us to dictate what they charge us for.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're just buying everything, which I'm part of the problem, I'm just buying everything.
Uh-huh.
Like
buying the red Switch. Are you actually going to buy it?
Probably not. I don't think so. Not that I hope not.
You said that as if like you have no control.
I don't. I got the Nintendo Ninjas like with my wallet's with them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to look at a game like Mario Wonder and then put it next to Spider-Man and be like, oh yeah, those games are worth the same amount of money. Because it's just, I mean, I don't think they are.
we could go into the conversation of like what is art and what it's priced at, because there's a lot of art pieces that I don't understand, but yet they're like one of the most expensive art pieces that you can get. And I think, obviously video games are art. So does the label has to do something with it, right? It's the same thing as the artist. I'm sure the artist is tied to the amount of how much something costs.
Yeah, that's true. Like when you think of I don't know much about art either, but I know like Banksy was
Yeah.
an artist, and like no matter he had like a banana on a wall worth millions of dollars or something like that.
I don't think that was him. I think that was somebody else.
Oh well, anyway, people thought it was him.
Yeah, or like
then,
Andy Warhol has like the Campbell's soup. It was just a painting of like Campbell's soup.
Yeah, and that's probably worth more than if I painted Campbell's soup.
Yeah, it would be a mess.
I'm artistic. I've doodled in my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can draw like stick figures. That's pretty much it.
Anyway, I understand what you're saying. So that would mean certain developers, their games aren't worth $60.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're saying. And I'm pretty sure Ubisoft is one of them. Their games are not worth full price.
I don't.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because one, they suck and they're boring, but two, they go on sale within 2 weeks of a release.
Yeah, that's their fault, marketing wise, right? Like, I think we all expect those games to go on sale, so we just wait. But like Mario plus Rabbids, you don't think that's a $60 game?
No.
What is it then?
$30. Because that's what it's going to go on sale for.
$30.
It's $30. It's $30 right now. It's on sale for $30.
So if it goes on sale, and I'm just asking across the board for anything, if something is on sale, is that how much it's?
No, worth? It's only Ubisoft games, because they put them on sale immediately. They don't value the game at $60 or full price, so why would anybody buy it at full price?
So you think that Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to go on sale like
immediately by Black Friday? Don't buy Assassin's Creed Mirage at launch. It's stupid.
The game is stupid, or
No, it's dumb to pay full price for Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
They're not worth $60 or full price. I don't even know like what full price is. I don't know what Assassin's Creed Mirage. Actually, you know what? Assassin's Creed Mirage, I'm pretty sure is a $50 game.
It's not full price?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $50. Let me see.
Huh. But it does make me wonder, Supergiant, how much like Hades 2 will be, because honestly, Hades for me, I think could be a full price game.
Yeah, well, I think Hades was like $25 or 20 something dollars. When it came out. Yeah. I would assume Hades 2 will be $30. I think it's worth more than that.
Yeah, I think it adds so much to that genre. I think that they add a lot to it, like the writing, the voice acting, the music. Like there's so much that you can appreciate about that game. And I think if it was at full price, people would be all right with that.
I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. It's an indie game. It's an indie game. That's all people see. It's all people see. Like, I'll be interested to see what Silksong comes out at, probably $25, $30. Because they know, the developers know, that people perceive indie games as less value than a AAA.
Which is crazy. 'Cause I think that we've had really great indie games in the last like 5 years that could probably top some of the experiences that we've had with AAA games.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just don't think we will ever see. I don't know if we'll ever see an indie game that costs that much.
What was Ori?
I was like,
I mean, like
it was like
that's
$25 or $30. It wasn't.
and it's published by Microsoft, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is that indie? Would that be a double A?
I think it's a double A or
Which is
second
rare.
party or something.
Yeah, we don't see those very often.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I think that was like $25, $30. I don't think it was 60. I can't think of a indie game that was 60, but yeah, even Assassin's Creed Mirage is $50.
And like you said, that would probably go down to like 40.
It's probably, yeah, it'll probably go down to 40 by Black Friday. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that it's 50 because it's going to take less time to play? Like it's supposed to be a shorter Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. I think they announced that it's a 25-hour game or something, 30 hours as a completionist. And that's longer than I would assume Super Mario Bros. Wonder is going to be.
Possibly.
And they're pricing it at $50, not 60. And I know, like, right now we're in a time where, like, every Nintendo game just sells like hotcakes. But, like, what happens on the next system when it's probably still underpowered and they're releasing games at $70? Like, what's going to happen?
People are just going to buy it.
Are they, though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think so. I think
Wii U flopped. So, Wii U flopped hard.
Wii U flopped, but also, like, I love the Wii U, and I think that it has some great games on it.
Not anymore.
True, because they're all on Switch.
Yeah.
So are you saying like they'll
Wii U's overrated?
Wii U's not overrated.
It is. People think it was like a phenomenal system. It was not. It was not. The droughts were awful.
Sure, we did.
They had droughts, they had no third-party support.
We probably had droughts though when you think about like Wii U, and then we also had DS games or 3DS games at the time.
But then you're buying. You have to buy two systems to do it. That's just not. That's not a good.
No, but what I'm saying is like we don't have droughts now because we don't have to deal with a handheld and a console. It's just we have a hybrid.
Yeah, I'm hoping Nintendo learned and they're not. I'm pretty sure they're sitting on franchises to release with their next console.
Yeah.
But like what I mean, are people gonna pay $70 for?
Yes, because I think out of all of the big companies, like Nintendo is known for their exclusives. Even Phil Spencer has said that Nintendo has the best exclusives. And so like when we were having this discussion, not us, but just online, people were having the discussion about Switch and Steam Deck. People weren't worried about the Switch because you're not going to be able to play Zelda on a Steam Deck.
You could emulate it, bro. Bro, just emulate it. Bro, just emulate it. Why would you buy a Switch when you get a Steam Deck and you can emulate everything?
You really want to go down this route again?
Literally every comment I get when I make a video about the Switch is somebody saying to buy a Steam Deck and just emulate. Not everybody wants to do that, okay? I understand that it's an option, but not everybody wants to do that. And the audience for the Nintendo Switch are casual, and they really don't want to do that.
Gonna dip out of this conversation.
No, I mean the Steam handhelds are not like the AOG Ally or whatever it's called, the Ally and the Steam Deck. Like they're not competition for the Switch or Nintendo.
Which is crazy because you were just saying that the Switch is underpowered, and yet
it is underpowered. It doesn't matter.
No, I know. Right, it doesn't matter. So like they're going to
But there will
buy.
be a time. There will be a time. It could be if Nintendo screws up this launch, it could happen. They screwed up the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
They screwed up the the GameCube wasn't great. Like didn't do well.
They screwed up the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, they screwed up the Virtual Boy. The N64 didn't sell well. Like they've had three big bangers with the Wii, the DS, and the Switch.
Yeah, DS did not do very well. That's
DS
why they
is
had to
the
have...
highest selling console ever.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking 3DS because they had
The
the
3DS
Ambassador
did well
program.
too, though. It sold like
But they had
90
the
million
Ambassador
units.
program. It did not sell
Well, yeah, because they launched it
at the start.
Yeah, see exactly. People didn't see it was worth $250 or whatever they were trying to charge for it. They had to drop it down, so that could happen. But I mean, you brought up God of War. God of War was $60, and you're gonna put God of War Ragnarok up next to Super Mario Bros. Wonder and say they're worth the same? No, that's just wrong. Like I understand, like we love Mario. I love Mario.
Yeah.
But they're not the same. Like they're just not as much goes into a Mario game or a 2D Mario game as like a God of War, like Ragnarok.
It's just, I hear you, and like I want to agree, but I can't, and I know that's probably the bias in me.
That's the Nintendo fanboyism.
It's
Fan
not.
person is your fan. We are blinded by like, yeah, of course. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like it doesn't matter. Like we didn't bat an eye at Tears of the Kingdom being $70.
Are you saying that it shouldn't have been?
No, because the market was $70 games are these next gen experiences, something that you want to be able to get on, the previous gen. But it's just a sequel on the same platform.
That runs really well.
Does it though?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It runs under 30
issues?
FPS. In a lot of the towns, it runs under 30 FPS. It is not a next gen experience. It is just not a next gen experience. It's a Switch experience, but it's not next gen. But they're charging next gen price, and it doesn't matter because we just all bought it. But
this is probably our most heated conversation, I think.
But like I love Tears of the
gotten...
Kingdom. I love Tears. It's my favorite game this year. I think it's probably one of the best games ever. But like, it doesn't match up to some of these next gen experiences.
Okay, but that's a different
quality
argument.
wise.
I was gonna say some of the next gen experiences that we have, or well, I guess they're not next gen. They're like last gen, but they're on Switch and they do not run well. But that's because the developers don't know how to port over the game on Switch.
And that's another thing. Like, there's the Switch tax. Like, Red Dead Redemption shouldn't be $50 on the Switch. Or, Doom is full price. It's like $60.
Eternal?
On the Switch. Like, they shouldn't be. But you have the Switch tax. And nobody cares. Like, that's what I'm really interested to see. That's where everything could go awry next gen. Next Nintendo console life.
Mm-hmm.
If, it probably is going to be more powerful than the Switch. But it's going to be less powerful than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And if you're still getting inferior experiences, like, are people going to buy it?
Inferior because it doesn't run well?
Yeah. Like, if you play Doom Eternal on an Xbox Series X and you play it on the Switch, night and day, but you're paying the same price.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a game, Mortal Kombat 1 is coming out in 2 weeks. it is a $70 game on all platforms, including Switch.
Something that we haven't talked about is, especially with Nintendo, do you think that maybe the price raises because it's in handheld? Like you can take it on the go versus the other consoles where, you can't.
I think their, I don't know if I'm going to say an excuse, but their reasoning is it's because it's a cart, and carts are more expensive to manufacture. So here's what really has to happen. All physical media has to go away. And then we could go on to a fully digital platform.
That's all,
and then there would be a lot more. But yeah, I mean, they say it's because of the carts, but I don't know.
I really hope that there's just people that are listening that are just yelling at their device, whatever they're listening to, and they actually have the reason for why these games are priced the way that they are. Maybe maybe there is an actual answer.
Oh, you mean
just across the board? Yeah, like if there is a real answer and we just don't know. Like I would love to be educated on that, but from what I've seen or from what you're just gonna look it up?
No, I got a comment. I made a video about why is Mortal Kombat $70 on Nintendo Switch, and somebody commented on it, and hold on, I gotta find it.
Okay.
But it is like, they're not happy with me. Which is normal. That's fine.
Yeah, not surprising.
Well, here's one that I got that I really liked. It said, finally somebody with credibility. Me. I have credibility, apparently. Called this out.
You wrote this comment.
I did not write that one out. Hold on, I gotta find it. Maybe,
they delete it?
Or maybe I responded to it.
But you were saying the Mortal Kombat is $70?
It's $70 on all platforms, including the Switch, which I don't know if you've played Mortal Kombat 10.
I don't remember 10. Which one I've played,
but
yeah.
The one on Switch it's awful. It's terrible. And they want you to pay the same amount of money for a terrible version of the game. Anyway, they said something like, it was something along the lines that they have to pay the voice actors, they have to pay the devs, they have to pay, like, I forget what it is. I don't know. They were talking about, like, all these people that they have to pay. And I'm just like, yeah, I understand that. I understand people should get paid.
Yeah.
But, like, they already got paid in anything. A lot of it's just profit. And the devs don't see the profit.
Well, okay, so we hope they got paid.
Oh, yeah, they would have got paid.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, this was something I was going to talk to you about, is if SAG-AFTRA does go after the video game companies for their actors not meeting their for the studios not meeting the actors' demands, we might have to like reformat our show a little bit, or depending on like what the rules are, which I think is
We're only talking about Nintendo games.
Well, it depends. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's considered voice acting, even though
I don't know. There wasn't like the thing that I saw. It wasn't all.
No, it wasn't everything. It was like Warner Brothers, Disney, Insomniac,
EA, Activision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see Nintendo on there, but I don't know because they're not American based. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is interesting. I am very interested to see how that plays out. But I know, that's not. I hope they got paid. I'm assuming they got paid something, but they're probably not getting residuals, and that's just That's what the whole issue is. But the devs, they probably have a hourly wage or a salary or something that they got paid, and then everything over that is profits. Like it doesn't go to them.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we talked to Dire Vengeance, the developers for Dire Vengeance, which was an indie game that came out last year.
Yeah, it must.
We talked about it on Nintendo Powercast.
Yeah,
and one of the developers was telling us once you're done with the game, you just move on to the next thing. Like, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So you have to find another job unless you have like connections or something.
Yeah, and I don't know of any devs that get residuals from prior work.
Right.
That's a conversation for a whole different thing.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it kind of goes, I think, within this conversation is, if something is full priced, it's probably because they have to pay, or at least you hope that they're paying everyone that deserves to get paid. And that's why these games are so expensive. Like Mario Wonder, yeah, it is a Mario game. There's music that, I mean, we know is going to be good. It's already good.
Yeah, it's
from
fantastic.
what we have
the
heard.
Music's amazing.
Yeah. There's lighting, like stuff that we don't even think about. Lighting, artists have to get paid for that, and I
understand. I don't think people should not get paid, right? I don't think.
No, I know.
That's not what. Like, pay them more to eat into the profits. Like these millionaire, like who cares about if these millionaire CEOs lose some money? Who cares?
Right. Yeah.
Give it more to the devs, but they're not doing that. They have a set salary or a set hourly wage.
Yeah.
And they don't see a cut of the profits unless they're at a really good company. However, I think Nintendo, this was a story, it was right around the time.
Days ago, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, there's that one, but then there was the one that it was just around the time that they announced the $70 price point for Tears of the Kingdom. I think they were giving everybody a 10% raise or 10.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody like a large raise.
Yeah.
So I mean that is a factor, right? Inflation, and plus inflation is like a whole thing.
Right.
But I don't know, like, Tears of the Kingdom would have cost a lot more to make than Mario Wonder. I would assume. Like, why is Kirby $60? Why is Kirby $60? That should be $3.
It should not be $3.
Anyway, we are over an hour. These episodes are getting longer and longer. We're gonna turn out 3-hour episodes soon. So that will be a Patreon tier.
A 3-hour episode.
A 3-hour episode.
There you go.
But I don't know what the answer is of this one. But
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into what makes a game cost as much as it does. It is kind of odd that there is a standard price all across the board, no matter what type of game it is, except in like the indie scene.
Right. Because I was going to say, like, there's different indie games that aren't all priced the same, but like one has, or it seems to have more value than the other one or something. What?
Yeah, I did want to bring this up because these games should be worth $60, $60+ really. Mm-hmm. But Brotato and Vampire Survivors should cost more than they do.
I do want to just real quick reiterate, we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We are not in the gaming development world. I would love to know more about it. We're just having a conversation, so it might sound dumb or like we don't know what we're talking about, but that's because like
we are dumb and don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. We just know what we think we know. So if we're wrong, Tell us. I would love to learn from those that actually do know.
Yeah. If there's a dev out there listening, let us know. And maybe you can come on the show if you want. But yeah, we are at an hour and 10 minutes. This was a fun conversation. I'm interested to see what the community has to say. We forgot to plug community patch notes again, that we always forget to do. But if you have, let us know in the comments of the YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments of Spotify, in the Discord channel. Let us know your thoughts on what makes a video game worth full price.
And if you go to the YouTube channel, like if you search Communication Error P, we're the first ones to pop up, baby. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. One letter at a time. We'll be up at the front.
And if you are the first patron, I will personally thank you.
That's nice. All right, we'll see you next week with Jeff Troyvania.